עוד יותר, יוצרי התוכן של ישראל.
Welcome to the first ever Olim TLV podcast.
Woo!
It's a big deal, guys.
Yeah.
Coming.
Amazing.
Very big deal. And the first ever English podcast, kind of, right? Yeah. Where we're going to be talking about all things related to Olim Chadashim, reality of living life in Tel Aviv as an Ole, and controversial opinions. So my name's Noah. I made Aliyah from Dallas, Texas. I'm going to let Matthias and Matan introduce themselves.
So my name is Matthias. I decided to follow in Noah's footsteps and make Aliyah 6 months ago. And this is Matan.
Where from?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Texas. So, typical American Ole, right? Tzat metuntam, so. Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
My name is Matan Peretz. I didn't make Aliyah.
He's a wannabe Ole.
I made Aliyah from Gan Yavne. 3 years ago was very hard, the adjusting, to life.
to life in
Chulon. It was very hard. But yeah, I just came to give you the Israeli perspective about all the nonsense you're going to talk about.
Matan has a lot of experience with Olim, specifically a lot.
Yeah, I work in a shelter.
So first of all, we want to start off by saying we're going to keep it real on this podcast. You guys, most of the people who are listening probably follow the Instagram account, Olim TLV. We're going to keep it uncensored, no filter. So please, please, please don't be offended. And if you are offended, write us via DM and we'll probably end up roasting you.
Exactly. If you're offended, you haven't been in Israel long enough.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's like a nefesh benefish unfiltered. So
Whoa.
Uncensored, yeah.
Nefesh uncensored. Nice.
It's all the stuff they won't tell you.
Nefesh Benefish actually sends us some content sometimes and they're like, hey, this is a little too aggressive for our account, but feel free to use it.
Oh, nice.
It's been great. So it's important to note this is all our personal opinions. It doesn't represent all Olim. Some Olim are smarter than us. Some Olim are stupider than us.
Most are dumber.
Most are dumber. But, take everything with a grain of salt.
It's supposed to be funny and entertaining. Don't be offended. Don't be American.
Don't be American.
Don't
there
be
you
American.
go. That was a good way to put it.
I'm offended because it's funny. Shut up.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to start off with talking about the day of October 7th.
Oh, God.
We had a lot of things going on there. We want to talk about kind of the Ola experience during the war because I feel like it's something that a lot of people didn't talk about. So Matthias and I actually spent the whole day of October 7th and that following week together. And basically, sirens started happening early in the morning. I woke him up because he's never been through sirens. He just made Aliyah 3 months earlier. So poor thing. He's never been through it. I've been through it multiple times. I already know. So I'm calling him at like 8 a.m. No response. 10 a.m. No response. 12 p.m. No response. I'm like, at this point, did he go to the festival? What happened? Like, why isn't he answering? Poor Ole just made Aliyah. Has no idea what's going on. What's happening?
Meanwhile, what had happened was I was actually just drugged out of my mind on Benadryl.
Oh, nice.
So I'd been partying for like a week before Madrid and was having trouble getting back to my normal sleep schedule. And so what I did was I took a couple Benadryl. It helps me sleep, regulate the sleep cycle.
Stupid American.
Yeah. And you missed the war. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. So I wake up at 1 p.m. to my neighbors like banging on my door. Noah had I had 20 missed calls from Noah. And my neighbors, my mom, everyone is calling me freaking out.
Wow.
So meanwhile, I'm just...
drugged out American.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, what the hell is happening?
What is going on?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Only Americans would take sleeping pills to help recover from partying.
Of course. That's what you do, right? You just need to balance it out.
Anyway, so this fool shows up at my apartment. I'm like, Matthias, come over. Like, he's like my brother. I wanted a brotherly figure with me. He shows up to my apartment. It was 1 or 2 p.m. at this point with 2 bags of like 5 kilos of marinated chicken, It was the biggest Texas football game that day. We were gonna have a watch party. It was.
No.
He was like, "I have so much chicken. I don't know what to do with it."
Yeah,
this
so we
guy
just
comes-
spent all day just cooking and eating, stress cooking, stress eating.
I'm wondering, is that an American thing, like stress eating, or do Israelis stress eat?
I think it's an international thing. It's
Is
everything
it?
Americans do is like, is that an American thing? No, breathing? No, that's like a whole, like the whole world is doing that. So yeah, stress eating, stress cooking, especially for Moroccans, I think. So, yeah, Moroccans like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I have to cook something. Yeah, absolutely. So it's a thing, but like everybody was either like not eating at all.
Yeah, it goes
or
either
stress
way.
eating like
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
So you have to go through the steps.
Yeah.
And
So
we
up
had
to-
these like 10 pounds of chicken we had to go through. So.
Yeah, so that's what we did October 7th was watch the news and cook marinated chicken.
Wow, that's a
yeah.
weird experience.
It was a very weird experience, but it was a very terrifying experience. And I'm also curious to hear your experience as an Israeli. But I've been through sirens before. Obviously, this was nothing like what I've ever experienced. It was also Matthias's first time. Like, Hamas took his rocket virginity, basically.
Yeah, it was really that night specifically. There was a rocket that hit about 2 blocks over from us, and we could feel we were in Noah's stairwell. There wasn't a
We
shelter.
didn't have a mamad.
Yeah, and so the whole building started shaking, and then I don't know what to do. So I'm like running to the next building over because I heard they had a miklatz to the basement, but then I'm outside, I hear the siren, so I'm running back.
Oh,
forward.
wow.
And then Noah's like, "You're a fucking idiot, just get back here."
Yeah, Tel Aviv is too good for shelters and mamad. They're just like, oh, it's not gonna happen to us. But
And
a
that
terrible
happens,
surprise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I think the experience for like Israelis, it's been worse because we're so used to sirens and shit. So we are all like, oh, this shit again. And then you saw on the news. I was in Mexico actually. So when it was 11 p.m. right in Mexico, and it was 6 a.m. in Israel, and everything started happening like 11:30, 6:30, and we heard there was sirens and like. So we were like, my flight back was scheduled to October 7th. So we heard about the sirens, and I was like, the flight gonna be canceled probably. Like,
Yeah.
what a weird timing. You know what I mean? Like, couldn't you wait like 2 days? Let me get back home, and then we saw the videos of like, you know,
Terrorist infiltrating.
like driving around Sderot, and I was like, no way, this is fake. No way, this is happening. And we felt so helpless in the situation because there's nothing we can do. Like if you're in Israel, you can immediately get a call from your commander, and my commander called me, and he was like, report to your unit, and I was like, I'm in Cancun right now. And he was like, yeah, me too. And I was like, no, really? I'm in Cancun right now. And he was like, Cancun, Mexico? And I was like, no, Cancun, Dimona. Obviously, Cancun, Mexico. And he was like, what are you doing there? And I was like, is this really the time to have this conversation about my like vacation, you know?
Much well-deserved vacation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, are you really asking me why Cancun, like right now?
Yeah.
And he was like, whatever, just be here when you can be here. Like, and he hung up the phone. And then I realized like, it's real shit.
bad.
Like he's not calling me just for the sirens. You know what I mean? They won't call me for the sirens. So it was just terrifying experience. And yeah, so I did whatever I could to be in Israel as fast as I can. Obviously, like a lot of Israelis, like as fast like
When'd you
our
get back?
instinct. What?
When'd you get back?
Exactly a week afterwards, like the Saturday of October 14th.
Yeah.
And the 15th, I was already in Hebron. So from
Wow.
Mexico straight to Hebron.
Crazy.
Fucking horrible. And so it's the instinct, the Israeli instinct is just like the moment you hear there's a war, everybody's just coming back.
Yeah.
And all
Which is amazing.
it's
You'll never find that in any other country.
absolutely
any
amazing.
other country.
Just for comparison, though, when the war in Russia started, Russia-Ukraine war, 300 and something thousand Russians escaped Russia.
Yeah.
They were like, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
Like,
we'll
We'll
get
get
to
to the
talking
escaping.
about people escaping as
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
aka
yeah.
Olim.
No, but you know what I mean. Like Olim, like you have an option. You know what I mean? Like I have family in New York. Bye guys. And I'm like, nope. I have family in Gan Yavne and in Hebron. That's I don't know which is worse. Well, yeah. So
Well, yeah, we're gonna also get to that.
we're gonna
but
talk about that. Yeah.
Basically, it was a very, very terrifying day, like for everyone, I think. And I remember the first night it was me, Matthias, and our friend Donna in my apartment. And there were rumors going around in WhatsApp groups. Lock your doors, deadbolt your doors. There are terrorists going on in Tel Aviv. Don't open your doors to everyone. We were terrified.
Yeah.
And suddenly we hear this banging on my door.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. We all jump. We're running to my room like that's gonna save us. Like trying to hide under the bed, behind the closet.
Oh
like,
my God.
Not knowing what to do. It turns out it was our neighbor trying to like warn us that there's another siren that we couldn't hear. I don't know what it was, but it was terrifying. Like it was such a scary day looking back at it, and I think Israelis felt the same way, which is like we were like, are we just Olim being scared? But in reality, I feel like all the Israelis
everybody
felt
was
that way.
scared. Yeah, everybody was scared. I guess Olim, just like people who made Aliyah, were just a little bit more scared because you're in a different country and you don't really know how to act and you're not used to it. But we were all terrified. Everyone, don't feel bad. We were all terrified.
We'll get to feeling bad. We felt bad about some other things.
I bet you did. But don't feel bad about it. We all felt terrified, and then we all were just like, "What's going on?" We didn't understand. In the first, I think, 48 hours, nobody understood what's going on.
What was going on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So we ended up moving to our friend's apartment that had a mamad because we didn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
And we collectively made a group decision. And by collectively, I mean I made the group decision.
Obviously,
to leave Israel because I was terrified. And I made everyone else terrified along with me. I was like, oh my God, is there going to be a World War III?
What a great leader.
Yeah, I
lead by example.
Be terrified. Why not anybody just panic with me? Everybody just
That's
panic.
Literally what
that was
was
her. That was her. And I had no other option but to follow her lead because I just moved here. I'm like, oh, this is how Olim act in this situation. So now I know better. I've seen other people.
Don't listen to Noah. Yeah.
Noah's on this side of the spectrum.
So I'm telling him, Matthias, book flights. Like, let's go to Athens. Let's go to somewhere. Like, let's leave. Let's escape. With Donna also. We ended up flying to Athens, and everyone went their separate path. I went to New York. He went to Madrid. And basically, I think a lot of Olim don't talk about this, but I felt very guilty. I know you felt guilty too, but there's a certain guilt associated with leaving during a time like this. Like, okay, on one hand, we get to enjoy all the perks of living in Israel. We call ourselves Israeli. And on the other hand, when things get tough, we just like dip out. And I struggled with it for a long time. And
Shameful.
Shameful.
I'm kidding. I just want to make you feel better. Like, shameful. Shame on you.
It is.
Disgusting behavior.
No, but like every like 2 hours, I was like, Noah, like, are you sure it's the right decision? Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, for sure. When you get the
Such
fuck
a
out of here.
woman. I'm gonna leave right now. Okay, let's leave. Are you sure? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is this the right decision? You made that decision. I don't know. You tell me.
It was the right decision looking back at it, for sure.
Don't worry about
so. I felt like everyone kind of felt like they needed to do what they needed to do, and that was something really nice from my Israeli friends that I received. Was like, bro, just do whatever you need. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You just said shameful.
Nah, he's
just to make you
roasting
feel
you.
bad.
Yeah.
Just to make you feel bad. Obviously, what Israelis really felt about it is like, if you want to leave, leave.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're not like, especially if you're new in this country. We understand that this is a weird country.
I've been here for 4 years.
It's new. It's very new. Yeah, 4 years, it's nothing.
Yeah.
So it's not nothing, but it's,
What about 2 months?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
He was the one calming me down.
He's like, come on. We're going to get through this. Fuck this, I'm going.
That would have been, we should have filmed like scenes from that week, like of us. That would have been really good for.
There's just pictures of me sleeping.
And you panicking.
And me crying to my parents. Yeah.
No, but I feel like every Israeli, like I've talked to a lot of people, you especially, about like people who wants to leave Israel during this very stressful time, especially the first week, the first month. And they were very surprised of how Israelis were like, you do what you want to do. Like, go ahead.
Yeah.
They wanted, like, I felt like all the people that talked to me about living in Israel were just like waiting for like a confrontation. They were waiting for like me to go like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Israel needs you. And I was like, no, just go. And he was like, really?
They're used to Israelis fighting, It's
I was like, we got this. Just go. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Because we know, like, when you get to a certain age in Israel, when you grow up in Israel, you get to a certain age that you understand that we're not like any other country.
Yeah.
That things are, it's way more stressful. So we got used to it. But people from outside of Israel, when they encounter this stressful situation, they don't know what to do. We're just very used to it. We're just like, okay, which unit I need to report to, like whatever, I'll go, whatever. But people who is outside of Israel, like I have a lot of friends that came here to visit or like a vacation, whatever, and they were so stressed. I was like, I don't want to leave. I feel guilty. For what? Go.
Yeah. Well, there's also not much we can do. I mean, we didn't serve in the
Exactly.
army. We can't help out in reserves. Like the most we can do is like donations and social media activism.
If leaving Israel will calm your mind and you will feel like better with yourself, go ahead. I don't need you to be here and be like, panicking all over the place. We don't need that. Just go ahead, do you. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And my friends, I have some friends that were in abroad, like during the war, and he was like, should I go back to Israel? I was like, stay. Outside of Israel. It doesn't sound like you want to come back. It's fine because they feel guilty because of me. Because I was like searching for flights. I was like going crazy. I talked to like people in El Al and whatever, whoever can hook me up. And people felt guilty being around me. I was like, but I don't want to go back. And I was like, so stay here. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? It's fine. Don't feel guilty. It's a shameful behavior, but don't feel No, I'm kidding.
So while we're going through like all this guilt process, we're also seeing all the social media posts of like people that are posting like on October 8th, like anti-Israel content already.
Yeah.
And it's like, we hadn't even done it. We were busy grieving. Like, and we're seeing all this, and the amount of friends we lost was crazy. Friends, Like,
I know. It's friends, family, whatever. People you knew. Like, I think they were weirdly prepared, with the anti-Israel propaganda.
I agree.
Like, they were weirdly prepared. Like it happened on October 7th. We didn't understand what's happening until like October 10th. Like we were just like, what is going on? And like October 8th, people are just marching down the streets.
Marching in the streets.
Like in New York, free pass. And I was like, what is going on? Like this is weirdly orchestrated in a way. Like that makes me very suspicious. You know what I mean? So that's and then you learn that there were like a bunch of like reporters and journalists that accompanied the terrorists on October 7th. I was like, this
makes sense.
This is
So I went to New York actually after Athens. I was there for 2 weeks, and I went to Texas, and definitely like I was feeling guilty, but knew I made the right decision by going. I needed my family, I needed my routine, I just needed a sense of normalcy, but it did make you realize, like, on one hand, you feel physically safer, kind of, quote unquote, physically safer, but so many protests were happening. In New York, they were telling you, take off your mezuzahs, don't have mezuzahs outside of your home. My mom in Dallas, Texas, took off her mezuzah for a week.
Exactly.
My mom would never do such a thing. So it really makes you, and like Matthias said, like, I unfortunately lost. I mean, I went to University of Texas, 50,000 undergrad students, most of them non-Jewish. I had a lot of non-Jewish friends. I lost a lot of them, if not all of them, during this time. They turned their back, because I was Jewish, because I was Israeli, and this whole experience really makes you realize that, like, we only have each other at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think the reason Israelis and Israel in general are just like so loose with the go ahead and leave, it's because just like when you're a kid and you're like, I'm gonna leave home, you know what I mean? Like your mom said something to you, whatever, and you would just take like a plastic bag and you're like, I'm leaving it. And they're like, go ahead. Why are they not stressful? Because you're gonna go, and like 10 minutes later, it's like, oh, it's horrible out there. It's like, I know.
That's what happened to me. I went, saw my brother in Madrid who's living there, saw the protest, like, okay, 3 weeks later, I was back.
Exactly. Because you can leave Israel, go wherever you want to go, but you see what happens like outside of Israel, you're like, I think I'm gonna go back to Israel. It's in a weird way. That's why Israel is our home, because people are just like, they think like if Israel wouldn't exist, all the problems in the world will be solved.
Especially the American Jews.
Exactly. And then you see what happens outside of Israel, and they're like, I don't think you're right. Like, it's horrible out there. That's why we are here. So I think that's the reason.
I think this was a big wake-up call for a lot of American Jews, because they're so, I mean, I'm part Israeli, so I'm not fully, but American Jews are very disconnected from Israel and from what they think, like they have a totally separate life and that they're just disconnected and no association. But we really saw that when Israel is weak, the Jewish people are weak during a time like this.
Absolutely. I think that there's a lot of American Jews, and not just American Jews, just like Jews all over the world, and they live in the kind of like the sense of like Jews in Germany before World War II.
A super assimilated.
Super,
they think
they're
part
like,
of the society.
we're Germans. Like, we don't have any association with any. Like, the Jews can do what the Jews want to do. Like, I'm not going to a synagogue. My dad didn't go to a synagogue. We don't care about this shit. And then every once in a while, the world reminds us that we're all Jews. Like, you can be as disconnected as you want, but as like. As long as you're a Jew, you can't escape it. You're a Jew and that's it. You know what I mean? So
I will say, can you, like, they say we're the chosen people. I don't feel very chosen.
I feel like...
Do you feel chosen?
Of course, because everyone hates us.
Okay.
That's you know what I mean?
Interesting way to look at it.
Just kind of like when you're the favorite kid, you know what I mean? When you're the favorite child.
Were you the favorite child?
No. I know because I'm not. Okay. So you're all jealous of the favorite kid.
Yeah.
Your parents try to hide it, but they don't really.
They don't really, yeah.
They don't really.
Yeah.
And all the other brothers and sisters are like, just because he's the favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel like in a very weird murderous way, but it's how I know, because if we weren't the chosen ones, or nobody would give a shit about us.
Yeah.
We're such a small country.
Yeah.
And
for some reason everyone thinks we have a higher moral standard than everyone else.
Yeah.
It's like we're just normal people.
We just we want to live in our little tiny strip of land. I had an argument online with someone.
What's his name? Who's that guy you kept roasting in videos?
Oh, Greg. What a
Greggy.
disgusting human being. No, I'm not talking about him. He's a certified lunatic. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about there was some women, I think, I don't want to assume, because purple hair and whatever.
A lot of Americans
Pronouns.
listening.
Pronouns. Yeah, I don't want to get into it, but she was she was starting to really bash me, oh, you doing this and that and this and that, and I was like, it's not my fault you chose to be gay. And she was like, what did you just say? And I was like, yeah, you chose to be gay. And she was like, I didn't choose it. I was born this way. And I was like, yes. And I'm Jewish. I didn't choose to be Jewish. I was born Jewish. What do you want from me? And she was like, but free Palestine. I was like, yeah.
Fuck off.
Good argument.
Yeah.
Amazing argument. Yeah, free Palestine. You got me there. Come on.
I think also something we were thinking about a lot is how can we give back, from being abroad, from not serving. You were able to give back via reserves, physical service, and also your social media. You blew up during this time.
Yeah.
I remember I was in Texas. There's this Instagram account, Misfit Patriot. He's this redneck Texan, super funny.
Yeah, I love him.
His video went viral, and suddenly I see him and Matan commenting on each other's posts.
Yep.
This random text, and I'm like, Matan literally made so many social media friends during this time. Random
Absolutely.
Michael Rappaport, all these people. So you were able to really
Jerry Seinfeld's wife. She's posted me a lot.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
She shared a lot of my videos. Yeah.
Was that the only social media interaction you guys had? Or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I sent her a message. I was like, my dream is to meet your husband. And she was like, so, yeah.
He was in Israel. Right?
I know.
Did you see him?
That's why I texted her. I was
and
like,
got
come
nothing.
on.
I guess not.
Come on.
Nothing.
But yeah, I guess he was on a very busy schedule.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But I mean, we were trying to think of ways to give back. For me personally, it was through the Instagram account. I was trying to think of creative ways to give back. I started doing single spotlight, where Matan was on there in case you missed him, where we highlighted Israeli reservists and put a single spotlight up for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a lot of DMs from Olot being like, yo, I want to give back, winky face.
Oh my
I will do
God.
anything to help the cause and give back. And so I was like, oh my God, there's a supply and demand opportunity here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start Friends with Benefits of the IDF. There's this charity organization. It's called Friends of the IDF. It's in America. And I was like, let's pivot it. Friends with Benefits of the IDF. And so we launched the first round where people basically filled out a Google form, and then I would match reservist up with Olot.
And it was super successful.
I got 800 submissions.
Yep.
It was pretty split, half.
750 of them was for me.
Yep. Yep.
Did you get any benefits from that? Did you receive any
did.
nudes?
No comment.
You- How many nudes from American girls? Not just through not just through Friends with Benefits.
Come on, you're gonna
of IDF.
ruin his brand.
Did you receive? Since blowing up on
nudes.
social
no
media.
No nudes. But one girl texted me. She sent me a DM. And she was like, I wanted to send you nudes, but you look like a very classy guy, so I didn't.
Whoa.
And I was like, you are mistaken. No, I was like, no, I was like, thank you. I respect that. I really do, because I don't like, it's a weird interaction to start. Oh, boobs. No, it's just like, how are you? You know what I mean? It's but like I had good.
So you didn't get nudes, but you
no.
But you did get like. Do you feel like more girls started being like reaching out and sliding in and all that stuff?
Yeah, obviously, because a lot of girls like one of them told me like I didn't thought you're from Israel. Like I saw your videos like circling around, and I was like, why is he in uniforms? Like why is he in an IDF uniform? And I was like, because I'm an Israeli, you know. So yeah, so I guess
posting videos of yourself in the IDF uniform.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially in the car like this.
Lots love that stuff. You knew what you were doing.
Because I have no other choice. Like,
my mom loves Matan. She went to a
Yes.
stand-up show. She follows him on Instagram. We were sitting in Texas. She keeps scrolling. She's like, every video of Matan's is in his uniform. He knows what he's doing. He knows the cards he's playing. It's really fun. You did a good job.
Thank you. No, I didn't do it for the girls. Obviously, I did it for I did it for people to understand, because
No, but why else do you go fight?
well, yes, absolutely. Why do men do anything other than to impress girls? But like I did it when I did it at first. I was like, I should use my English in the benefit of my country. Like that was the first thought.
And you did.
I did, and I like people. The first videos, people don't know that, but the first videos, Israelis commented like, "What are you doing this in English?" Like I was like, because it's not for you.
I remember that.
It's not for you. Like I'm not gonna I'm not gonna preach to the choir. Boom.
Oh, nice
I know
phrase.
phrases.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that, because we all know what needs to be done, and we're all Israelis. We all feel that. But people outside of Israel have no idea what's going on, and I think Israelis are very ignorant in the fact that they think like that what we know, everybody else knows.
I think that's this country's biggest problem is the PR.
Exactly.
The PR to the outside world.
Absolutely. And people are like, why are you saying this? Like the first videos, I said some like very, like it's a very common knowledge in Israel to know that. And I did those videos, and people are like, what are you saying? Like, we all know that because you live in Israel, dipshit. People outside of Israel don't know that. And it's a very common knowledge. And they're like, oh, really? And then they saw the comments in English. And then the Israelis like,
started understanding the importance of
a little bit,
and all that stuff.
then they started commenting in English, like Israelis commenting in like a broken English, but still, like just comment so people will see that video. So it took like convincing, but it's still after a while when they saw Michael Rapaport just sharing my videos, a lot of Israelis were like, oh shit, okay, people actually watch this. And then they saw the Indonesian attack, which was so funny. It was the funniest shit, because they did like a bunch of video. Like somebody, an American, I think, sent me like a video of this Indonesian like influencer, and she was like, with my picture. And I was like, this is not good. Like, I don't know what you're saying. And I sent that video to like my like TikTok liaison, or like, and I was like, listen, she is bashing me. And she was like, how do you know? And I was like, from the facial expression, I don't know. It's not good stuff, you know what I mean? Like, she's very angry and weird looking.
The Indonesians went crazy.
Crazy.
They were like on another level.
Yeah. They did like the oldest, like concentrated, like they made a list of Israeli influencers and just like reported our account. There was 1 week, I think I got like every day, maybe like 40 to 50 emails to my account of like, oh, we see you forgot your password for Instagram. I was like, fuck it. Like, they're trying to hack my account. Yeah. I was like, fuck you. And I was like, how is this going to stop? And then a volcano erupted in Indonesia.
And then it all stopped.
Fuck you. You don't mess with the Jews. Yeah. And they're like, oh, we have bigger problems now. Like, yeah, fuck you.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. I was so happy.
Tom was just roasting like everyone. It was amazing. You were
same as a volcano roasting everyone in Indonesia. But because people are so stupid. Like, people are they just, if an influencer said that, they're like, oh, that's the absolute truth. Yeah. That Israelis are white and Palestinians are brown. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
People are idiots. What did this war make you realize? That everyone's stupid. The world is everyone's an idiot.
Everyone's an idiot.
Everyone, especially Americans.
I don't want to say especially, but yeah.
Especially Americans.
Especially Americans.
Speaking of controversial and saying stupid stuff, we have this weekly segment in Olim TLV. You know this, Hot Take Thursday, where we discuss super controversial opinions that people have. People submit it, or followers submit it, and then we choose 10 each week. And as part of the podcast, we're going to be discussing these and talking about our personal opinions on these hot takes.
Let's go.
Matan, I'm extra curious to see what you think about this as an Israeli.
I'm not even going to look. It just surprised me. Surprised me.
So hot take number 1, IDC or Ben Gurion boys are automatically 100% more attractive.
I don't know. I've never dated one. I have no idea. Maybe.
I mean, on my end, I can say that if I'm swiping and I see a guy's from like IDC or IDC or Ben Gurion, I'll be like, okay, quality guy. All right, next, Dizengoff Center is an architectural masterpiece and better than any American mall.
Well, I let me strongly disagree and call you stupid as well. No, I'm kidding. No. I think Dizengoff, because it's just a weird.
I wouldn't call it an architectural
I think it's the best
masterpiece.
mall I've ever been in.
Not at all.
I think it's the best
weird.
one.
Every time I go there, I find out like a new store
A new
or something.
hole.
Yeah, it's amazing. You just keep walking up. Oh, you forgot a store, go down the stairs.
No, it's weird. It's the only place on earth when you're like, I need to go up to get to like -2. What? You know what I mean? Like it's such a weird place. I always like when I parked inside the Dizengoff Center like parking lot, I always like try to remember which store I saw. Like
right
when
at the entrance,
because if not, I'm just
fucked.
walking around, just like I don't know where I am, and it's weird. It's very weird.
I don't know what drug
I feel like I'm
whoever
at the
was
Guggenheim Museum, like just going up like this. I love
even
it. I fucking
close.
love it. It's amazing.
Someone wrote this hot take while they were drugged out. Clearly. Okay, next one. I can't comment on this, but it's for y'all two to discuss. Israeli men don't get STD tested enough as they should.
I agree. I go every 6 months because I have a lot of gay friends, and they were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was like, but like one of my gay friends was like, "Dude, like how often do you do your like blood and urine, whatever?" And I was like, "I don't know. When I feel sick." And it was like, "What?"
No.
What are you doing? I was like, really? You should do that? Like, because I was religious for most of my life.
Yeah.
So I don't really like, if I feel sick, I go to the doctor. I don't have like a routine checkups. And now I go every 6 months.
So ladies, Matan gets STD tested every 6 months.
And it's always positive. No, I'm kidding. Every 6 months, it's really because of my gay friends. Like, shout out to my gay friends. But otherwise, I would be like, no, but I feel fine. You know what I mean? Because it's Israeli.
Yeah.
It's an Israeli thing. To go,
Yeah.
I feel fine. What? I don't sick. If I don't sick, I don't go doctor.
I still think you should go a little bit more often.
American
Really?
telling as well.
Yeah, every 3 months.
Every 3 months?
Yeah.
No.
It's so easy. You just go chick. You know, you're in and out.
I don't know, but maybe. Maybe.
He'll think about getting
I'll
STD
think about it.
tested
If
more
an
often.
American girl asks you, you go every 3 months.
Oh, okay.
That's
Sure. Sure.
Okay, last hot take of the day. Israelis' obsession with pistachio-flavored things is fucking weird.
Disgusting.
It's weird.
Fucking hate
it's
it.
weird.
Yeah,
Why are they
Galzavi,
why
by
are they
the way.
so obsessed with pistachio?
I don't know, and it's fucking disgusting. I only like the pistachio itself. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything flavored pistachio is a fucking abomination.
There's nothing.
I hate it.
There's nothing more disappointing than wanting to order Golda or Ortella with friends, and one of them forcing you to get pistachio.
Yeah,
But they're always like this. They're always like, fistu.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa.
Shut up! It's not
Calm
that good. Yeah,
It's
like
not.
part of their personality.
It's disgusting. Because I don't know if you guys know that, but I don't know if you know that because you were here. But like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, there was like craziness
Hype,
about like
yeah.
pistachio flavored shit. Everything was like, oh, it was so hard to like get the pistachio whatever popsicle, and I was so like I felt such anger towards that. And Galzavi, one of my friends, was like a foodie. Like a food influencer, yeah. So it was really like promoting like the pistachio thing, and I
Did
was
the
like,
government secretly pay people to promote pistachios? Was
not
there an
secretly.
excess of supply
I don't
of
think it's
pistachios?
secretly. They just pay people.
Like, why? No, I think there needs to be an investigation. Was there an excess of supply of pistachios that there
I
needed
don't
to be?
know.
Like, something doesn't make sense.
When
It's
I grew
freaking
up,
weird.
the only one who liked pistachio was my dad.
That makes sense.
Only one, because you have no sense of like taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
all dads like pistachio.
exactly, pistachio and like the weird. Yeah. But I completely agree. I hate everything about like other than the actual pistachio. I hate everything flavored pistachio.
Agreed.
Baklava is good.
What?
Is that pistachio?
Yeah, but they
But no, it's
just
not
But it's like
flavored.
pistachio crumbs. It's fine. You know what I mean? The actual pistachio, yeah, but like if it's flavored, I hate it. Ice cream, whatever, popsicles, I can't. Like Israelis are just like when the ice cream companies tell you what to like, Israelis are like, yes, I like that now, and I'm like, no, have a fucking backbone. You know what I mean? Like if it's disgusting, don't. Yeah. So, but I completely agree. And that's why we need people from America to come and say
these hot takes.
Yeah,
Wake
like,
people up.
this is fucking
Israeli
weird.
men don't get STD tested enough.
Yeah, exactly. The important issues, you know,
The important
pistachio and
issues.
STDs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There are more hot takes. If you want to look at them, go on their Instagram account. We'll be discussing these every week. Make sure to submit some of y'all's own too. But I think that's it for the first official Olim TLV podcast. And
Wow, that went by so fast.
I know.
I had so much fun.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
We should do that again.
Sometimes, since Matan's a comedian, I can't tell if he's being like sarcastic or like he also knows how to fake laugh very well. So sometimes
Yeah. Absolutely.
exactly. So sometimes he'll say things and I'm like, does he actually think I'm funny? Is he actually enjoying himself, or is he just being fake?
Let me tell you a secret. Most of the times, I don't know either.
Yes.
I'm very confused. People are like, are you being sarcastic right now? No, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But it's the fake laugh. It's not because I'm a comedian. It's because I work in sales for so many years. And you have to be like, buy it.
Such a good fake laugh. Oh my God.
I know. It's just.
Was that a fake laugh?
I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Yeah, it's a little bit. Oh my God. Yeah, but
that was a lot of fun.
that was a lot of fun.
Thank you to everyone who listened. Oh, I want to take a group selfie while we're on this.
Let's do a group selfie. Absolutely.
Matthias,
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 you
come on.
go ahead. You go ahead.
Wait, you
Yeah,
can't see me.
but you need the yeah. We just made a group selfie, and you can hear us smiling.
Matan's fake laugh.
Matan's fake laugh. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
No. This has been so much fun. Like it's been my dream for a long time to have a podcast in English, just so you know. And when Noah,
Oh, I know.
yeah, and Noah was like, we have to do a podcast in English. I want to do a podcast for Olim TLV, and I was like, that's a great idea.
And I want to be on it.
I want to be on it, absolutely. But before we finish, we have to tell them where to find us. Do you want to do it, or should I?
You do it.
Okay, so you can find us in every podcast app, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. I'll do it in Israeli accent. Because,
Yeah,
you
it's
know
good.
what I mean?
So they understand.
Yeah. YouTube, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, every podcast app basically. And if you want to watch us, obviously, YouTube. We'll hopefully have clips on social media from the podcast on Olim TLV's page and on my page. Depends on who's talking and who's fake laughing. So that's how we'll decide. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.
Yep. Thank you
you.
guys.
עוד יותר, יוצרי התוכן של ישראל.
הוקלט באולפני אדיו, המשווקת את ספוטיפיי בישראל.